In a small town of Willow Creek, Oregon, there stood an old, boarded-up house that everyone had forgotten or tried to. Local kids called it the house that knocked because every night, deep thudding sounds echoed from inside, like someone slowly pounding the walls from within. The house belonged to the Hill family, who mysteriously vanished in 1983. The father, mother, and their 2 children simply disappeared. No bodies, no signs of struggle, just dinner left cold on the table, and a TV still playing. Years later, the house went up for sale, but no one dared buy it. Locals avoided it completely. Teenagers sometimes broke in, but most came back saying the same thing. It breathes. In 2017, a young blogger named Nathan came to Willow Creek looking for content. He filmed abandoned places and had heard the rumors. Perfect for my channel, he thought. On the second day, he found a way in through the basement. The house was dusty and moldy, but strangely, there was no decay. Furniture stood untouched, as if the owners had just stepped out. Nathan set up cameras in every room. He planned to spend the night and capture the knocking. The first half of the night was quiet, but at 3:17 a.m., it began. Cameras caught 3 deep knocks from the ceiling, followed by the faint cry of a child, though the house was clearly empty. In one room, a camera suddenly shut off. Nathan went to check. He found the attic door wide open, even though he had closed it. As he climbed up, the air grew heavy, like something pressing on his chest. At the top, he saw an old wardrobe. He opened it. Nothing inside. But when he turned around, the attic door had shut. Someone was standing behind it. He didn't wait. He kicked the door open and ran, taking only the memory card from the cameras. But the video was never uploaded. A week later, he was found in his motel room, sitting in a corner, rocking back and forth and whispering, "It's not in the house. It's in the walls." Friends tried to ask what he saw. He only said that on the attic, he heard a little girl whisper, "Mom said not to open it. Now you're here too." After that, he went silent. Police reinvestigated the house. They found nothing except one detail. Inside the walls between the attic and the bedroom were fresh child-sized handprints on the inside. The house was boarded up again. And every year, on the anniversary of the Hill family's disappearance, someone hears 3 knocks and a child's voice calling your name. In Chicago's Old Brighton Park neighborhood, there was an unremarkable house with one peculiar feature, a window that didn't face the street, but instead opened into a narrow alleyway that, according to locals, shouldn't exist. This alley wasn't marked on any map. Satellite images showed only a solid wall between buildings. But when you stood at that window, you could clearly see a passageway, narrow, stone-lined, always covered in a gray fog. And most unsettling of all, someone occasionally walked through it. Shadowy figures unusually tall, moving in twitchy, unnatural motions. The window belonged to Linda, an elderly woman who lived alone. She often complained that someone in the alley was watching her at night. She tried everything, curtains, boards, even furniture against the glass. But every morning, the window was wide open again. Police dismissed her claims, blaming her age and isolation. After her death in 2019, the apartment remained vacant for a long time. Eventually, a student named Ryan moved in. He liked the quiet and the cheap rent. The landlord never mentioned the window. The first night passed without incident. On the second night, Ryan noticed the window was open, though he hadn't touched it. On the third night, he got up for water and saw a figure in the alley. It was tall and thin, with arms hanging almost to its knees and no visible face. It stood silently in the fog, staring upward directly at him. Ryan stumbled back and shut the window. From that night on, things spiraled. He began hearing whispers from the glass, even when no one was there. At first, they were unclear, but eventually the words formed, "Open it. We're so close. He is waiting." He woke up to find himself sitting at the window, hand already on the latch. He had no memory of getting there. Something was pulling him inward, like his mind was being drawn into a crack between worlds. He decided to leave. He packed the next morning, but couldn't find his keys. Hours later, he found them on the outside windowsill, facing the alley. He had no idea how they got there. Ryan stayed in the apartment for only 9 days. His last journal entry on his laptop was a disturbing, incoherent message. "He is in the glass, I am inside. He knows my name now, I'm in the window. Now, I'm in the alley now." He was never seen again. Police broke down the door and found the window shattered from the inside and barefoot prints on the floor leading toward the wall, where the alley was supposed to be, but wasn't. The landlord boarded the window once more, but neighbors swear that on some nights, you can still hear tapping from behind the boards. And if you look closely at the reflection, you might see another face standing just behind you. My name is Tom, and it's taken me a long time to tell this story, because no one believes me, because even I don't know if it really happened, or if I just lost my mind. It happened last fall, when I temporarily moved into my parents' house in Vermont. They had gone south for the winter, and I was there to look after the place. Everything was fine at first. Quiet, peaceful. The house was surrounded by woods. No neighbors. No noise. Perfect for work and rest. Then it started with the doorbell. One night, around 2 a.m, I was woken by it. I looked outside, no one. I figured it was a glitch. The next night, same thing. But this time the bell rang 3 times. Still, no one there. On the third night, I didn't wake up to the bell. I woke up to whispers. Someone speaking at the door, very softly, like they knew I was listening. When I got close, the door's lock was turned open. I know I had locked it. I checked the security cameras. Nothing. Just static, like someone was standing too close to the lens, but somehow still invisible. I started to fear the dark. I kept all the curtains drawn, locked every door and window, but each morning I'd find one door open, a different one every time, and always muddy barefoot prints leading only into the house, never out. I told the sheriff. He said it could be a wild animal. The prints are human, I said. He shrugged. You're tired, son. Get some rest. Then I saw him. First, in a random photo on my phone. In the reflection behind me, a figure. Tall, too tall. Long arms. No face. Just a shadow. Then in the mirror. Then, outside the window, standing in the yard. He was always motionless, always staring, but gone when I blinked or turned away. That's when I realized he only moved when I wasn't looking. I began sleeping with the lights on, stopped using mirrors, covered the cameras, but I still felt him. I heard his breath behind me while brushing my teeth. I heard his steps when the TV went off. He stood at the foot of my bed. I knew he was there, even if I never looked. One night, I woke up and found a note on my pillow, written in shaky handwriting. You've stared long enough. Now it's your turn to turn away. And I did. I stood by the window. The forest outside was black. The moon full. He was there. I saw him in the glass reflection. He didn't move as long as I stared. Then I blinked. And in that split second, he was inside the room. I don't remember how I ran. I don't remember how I ended up barefoot on the roadside, face scratched. The police found me in the morning. The house was empty. Cameras dead. No sign of forced entry. Just a message carved into the bathroom mirror. Now you're with him. I don't live alone anymore. I sleep with the lights on. I avoid mirrors. I never leave doors unlocked. But sometimes, when I turn my head, I know he's still there. He never left. He's just waiting for me to stop looking.